Okay. Serving as a Christian pastor, it becomes very obvious that there's a tension within Christian churches to some degree. Every Christian church has this. And that's the tension of either looking inside or looking outside to the Great Commission. To some degree, you have to look inside as a congregation. You have to take care of the daily things that need to be taken care of. The maintenance facilities do, of course, serve a purpose. But you really need to be thinking about looking outside and doing that Great Commission that Jesus Christ has directed us to do, and that is sharing the gospel. The first time I came into contact with a reservation was, in fact, the Rosebud Reservation, as I spent some nights there, and I got to see the despair and the difficulties there. Kind of a failed governmental system has caused a lot of poverty there, and yet there was a conflict, kind of a tension there too. Many people were in despair, but many people were hungry. They were hungry for that gospel. The late Pastor Rudy Schaff, who was a member here for many years, introduced me to the mission pastor there in that area, Pastor Utek, and I did get to meet him many years ago, and as he served the Lord and tried to reach out to the gospel, it was pretty obvious to me that we could be of help to him, and it was a wonderful experience that we had going out there and assisting him. He's made a big difference out there sharing the gospel, and it was kind of a privilege to be able to go out and help him do that. We had a great experience doing that, and we plan on trying to be able to do that every year, to do that an annual event, to be able to share that gospel and to support his work there in the Rosebud Reservation.
So the drive out there was a long day, a long drive out there. So we took the first day to drive from Kirksville to right outside of Valentine, Nebraska, where we stayed. And then the next morning we got up and went into Valentine and met Pastor Utek at a church there that he pastors. He's a rather amazing guy. He pastors something like 4 different churches between the 2 that he's actually the pastor of, and then maybe 2 or 3 more that he's the vacancy pastor of. So he has a lot on his plate. And he met us, I think, at about 10 o'clock, and he gave us a tour of several places, several churches and places around the reservation before we went to Rosebud, to the church there, and gathered some supplies, and then started driving around town to invite kids to come to the VBS. And so several of us on that first day drove around town and helping to invite kids and really just getting to see the town.
When we rode with Pastor Utek on the truck, it was very interesting. It was I was surprised at the poverty level and how one house could be a functioning family house and the next house, more than the next house, many houses were boarded up and in terrible condition.
They have a very different life. They have to constantly wonder whether or not they might get fed. I know that there's problems like that in Kirksville, but a majority of Kirksville kids are getting their food, but a majority here are not in Dakota. And I think whenever we fed them and gave them the cookies and the lemonade and the hot dogs and the grilled cheese, whenever we fed them, that they were getting, I felt good because we were replenishing them.
And then each day after that, the next couple of days, we did the same thing, inviting those kids. So I participated in that. The first day we didn't have a huge turnout of kids coming to VBS, but all the Kirksville volunteers who went participated in VBS, helping out with snacks and helping out with singing songs and doing crafts and just spending time with the kids, watching puppet shows that Pastor Utek put on.
Well, we helped the children with their project, and we sat in on the Bible stories and the felt panel presentations, and then the 3 young ladies that were with us took the children up into the balcony and told them Bible stories and had a question and answer period, and then brought them back downstairs, and then they did their activity and had their snack.
My role on the mission trip to South Dakota was the crafts leader. I taught the kids the daily crafts, and I got it organized and made the sample crafts for them.
It was fun. They were excited about doing a craft, and they really appreciated the one-on-one help that everybody that was there to help could help them with their projects and help them complete it in the time that we had.
We started with 3 the very first day, and then the second day we had 8-ish, and then the last day we had 23. So it was a very drastic change since the first day, and that was really cool to see. And you could tell that the kids loved it, and they had a great time, and they met new friends that they could hang out with afterwards.
And so part of it was we were just there participating with the kids as kind of Christian role models for them. And so those 3 days followed kind of that same format. We would drive around and invite kids and then put on the VBS and do the crafts and so forth. And then we also did a service project in a neighboring town of Parmalee. Pastor Utek has a church there, and the building is in kind of rough shape. We took up several pieces of tile there and put down new tile, and made an improvement in the at least appearance of the church a bit.
I think everybody should go. I know we don't have that kind of room, but it's a very enjoyable time. Not only the time we spend with the kids from the mission at the Bible school, but it's moral support for Pastor Utek and his family to have people come help. And it is a great bonding time for people from our congregation to be together and celebrate Jesus in this way.
I would go again. I think it was a really good experience and really eye-opening. The people that I rode with in the van, we visited several times about how just different culturally it was from here in Kirksville, that we don't see the situations maybe that some of those people are living in, and just visiting with Pastor Utek, getting acquainted with some of the challenging beliefs that the Native Americans have in that area. Those are not something I was really familiar with either, and so that was really eye-opening, and made me really, in a lot of ways, grateful for the community I live in, but also really interested in maybe helping to spread the good news to those folks.
I would tell new people who are coming on this trip to always stay open-minded. There's going to be a lot of unplanned things that happen, but it makes it even more fun because of the unplanned. Like, you don't know where the day's going to take you, which adds the adventure to and the fun to the trip. Just be open and talk to them and play with them, and it'll really make their day.